What's going on, Saints fans? It's me, your starting quarterback. Get it? Because Kellen Moore hasn't named one? What's going on? My name is Trace Girouard. Welcome into today's video. Post-game analysis after preseason week 3, the loss from the Denver Broncos the Denver Broncos beating the New Orleans Saints. Kellen Moore did not name a QB1 after the game. He said that they will name one later this week. So will it be Tyler Shough? Will it be Spencer Rattler? We're going to decide that very soon, and I'm going to tell you why I believe one of these quarterbacks did just enough to win the QB battle. Really quick recap, though. Saints lose 28-19. The first team defense, for what it's worth, looked really, really good. I was very impressed with how starters like Pete Werner, Demario Davis, some of these guys played. It was really, really good to see this team flying around. I was very, very impressed. There's a drastic difference between the starting defense and the backups. Backups, they would bend, but they didn't break a lot of times. They gave up some big plays. That being said, Kool-Aid McKinstry got feasted on by Courtland Sutton, had a really good play, 4 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. For that touchdown, Courtland Sutton kind of boxed out Kool-Aid McKinstry and Julian Blackmon, which is why he was able to score a touchdown. Think about Devon Vele. That's what you are getting in that kind of player, somebody who can do just that for the Saints offense. Really quickly, we're going to talk about the quarterbacks, and then I'm going to dive into some injury updates. Personally, I think Spencer Rattler did not have a good enough day to be named the QB1. The stats from both of these players in the preseason, the final numbers. Spencer Rattler finished 30 of 43, 295 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Tyler Shough finished 36 of 53, 333 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and also a touchdown on the ground. Spencer Rattler today went 5 of 8, 43 yards, was not very good. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think he needs some new cleats, or they need to get new turf in the Superdome, because it feels like every single time this guy plays, he's slipping. And he's getting tripped up, and something happens. So I don't know if it's panic. I don't know if it's the cleats. I don't know if it's turf, but something's got to change. Spencer Rattler, in my opinion, is the guy who walked into this game with the upper hand. However, I am not confident that he's leaving with the upper hand. Tyler Shough, in my opinion, should be the New Orleans Saints QB1. According to the numbers, he had the better preseason set of games. Both players got opportunities. Both players faced adversity. Both players had nice responses. Tyler Shough today specifically was really, really impressive. Finished the day with 102 yards. He also had a rushing touchdown. Was really nice to see him use his legs. That drive that he had was really, really efficient. Started off very, very good passing the football. And for what it's worth, not a lot of touchdowns scored. No touchdowns by the New Orleans Saints in the first half of the preseason in any of these games. Came late. Tyler Shough, in my opinion, did do enough to win the QB battle today. I thought that he had a really good response after a strip sack earlier in the game. And because he responded so well, because he was able to take the team down and score and put us in a position to potentially win the game, I was impressed. Jake Haener comes in, momentum goes away, and I think that this is now Tyler Shough's football team. Spencer Rattler, nothing against him, but I just think Tyler Shough has been more impressive, especially when you consider the numbers. Who do you think should be QB1? Let me know in the comment section. Share your thoughts. Type TS for Tyler Shough. Type SR for Spencer Rattler. I want to hear from you, Who Dat Nation. Let's talk about Devin Neal, because he did get some run today. It was nice to see the rookie 6th-round pick finally get some action. He's been dealing with the hamstring injury throughout this preseason. He finished today 5 carries, 20 yards. He also had 2 catches for 10 yards. I was very impressed with him. Kellen Moore was very complimentary of him as well. Same with Kendre Miller. Kellen Moore showed him some love today. 3 catches, 15 yards. Very short day for Kendre Miller, but ultimately I think that he is going to provide a nice spark behind Alvin Kamara. I really like the idea of keeping 4 running backs. In my opinion, it should go Kamara, Kendre, Devin Neal, and then that 4th one could be CEH, Cam Akers, Velus Jones. I think Velus or CEH are your 2 better options, in my opinion. So we'll have to see what happens there. I think you can go ahead and cut Kevin Austin Jr. I don't think he was very good. And I want to tell you a little bit about some injury updates and some news that you need to know. But really quick, today's show would not be made possible if it weren't for our friends over at PrizePicks. Guys, PrizePicks is the best daily fantasy sports app in the whole wide world. This episode of Saints Now by Chat Sports is brought to you by PrizePicks. Preseason football is finally over for the New Orleans Saints, which means the regular season is about to start. But college football is in full swing, so don't miss out on any of the action this season on PrizePicks. It's a fun and simple way to test your ball knowledge and turn it into cold, hard cash. You just pick 2 to 6 players, more or less on their stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. For this season, I'm rolling with this lineup: Chris Olave, boop, more. Alvin Kamara, receiving touchdowns, boop, more. Lamar Jackson, more passing yards, boop, more. Life's too short to project the less. So follow my picks with PrizePicks. You can tail them, you can fade them, I don't really care. But PrizePicks is the place to do it. It's the best way to get sports action in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Join the millions of users today and sign up and download the PrizePicks app. Use code CLNS. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks. All that information is in the comments and description of this video. Run your game. Alrighty, the offense in New Orleans struggled. The theme of the preseason is finish your dinner. Too often, too many times, we're loading up the plate, getting your mashed potatoes, getting your dessert, but you're not eating your damn veggies and you're not eating your damn steak. You're not doing the things that you need to do to finish these drives. And it's very, very frustrating to see. Kellen Moore definitely needs to get some more production out of this offense, and hopefully the O-line can get healthy so they can start doing this. In terms of injury updates, most of this comes on the offensive side of the football, some of it, though, defensively. Landon Young, offensive tackle, he started at the right tackle position because Tyler Sefuaga was out. He suffered an ankle injury, was carted off. That's one to monitor because if he's gone, that is some serious bad news for the depth of the offensive line. Christian Boyd has, quote, a little hand injury. He was in the injury tent, went to the locker room. Not good news for him because he obviously has a very increased role now that Colin Saunders has been traded away. He's been very good throughout the summer, and I think that he is supposed to have a big year if he can be healthy, so want to monitor that one as well. Wide receiver Kevin Austin Jr., I said it, we can go ahead and cut him. Hasn't been good. Made a couple plays late in the game, but too many times was he dropping the ball. He was unreliable. He's in the injury tent, went to the locker room. That's one to monitor, especially with roster cutdowns coming on Tuesday. We got to monitor all of these moves, all of these injuries. Shane Lemieux, ankle injury, went to the tent, went back on the field. Rico Payton, he suffered an injury, was not able to play in today's game. It'll keep him out for 2 to 3 weeks. So that's something also to monitor. We're not sure what's going to happen with these players, but obviously the Saints roster needs to get dropped down to 53 players by Tuesday. Kellen Moore saying a lot of those cuts will happen by Tuesday. So, at the end of the day, we'll see who ends up making the roster, who ends up being starters, and who ends up making it on the practice squad. The defense did not play horribly, in my opinion. The first-team defense, like I said, was a lot better. Don't get me wrong, Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix were able to move the ball well, but I thought ultimately there was a big, big difference for the Saints whenever they had their starters and their backups in. The passing defense wasn't great. The rushing defense wasn't great. At one point, Sean Payton had like 7 rushing attempts in a row. They started the drive on the 14-yard line, got past midfield just by running the damn ball. It was ridiculous. Sam Ehlinger, you made him look like Patrick Mahomes on an absolute ridiculous play. Fourth quarter on 4th and goal. How in the hell did you not stop that? He running all around field, scrambling, running backwards, buying time, and just kind of hucks it as a prayer, and somehow the Broncos score a touchdown. That's ridiculous. How did that happen? Can't let that happen. That's Dennis Allen type stuff right there. Quincy RIley had a really good heads-up play today, caught an interception, was really impressed with him, had a nice tackling day as well. Danny Stutzman also was flying around. Vernon Broughton was all over the place. He spent a lot of time in the backfield, tons of pressure. Danny Stutzman made some plays on special teams and on defense. He's going to be a stud. Really excited for him. Fadil Diggs, potentially an MVP on the day. He was really impressive, made some really good stops. Jasheem Davis with a sack as well. Was very impressed with how some of these players that were at the bottom of the roster have been playing. I'm really eager to see if these guys can continue their strong campaigns and if these through the remainder of practices before, or I got remainder of practices because roster cuts are Tuesday, but I'm hoping that they can continue their good relationships with Kellen Moore. I'm hoping they can continue to prove that they deserve to be here. Hopefully practice squad spots at the bare minimum, but I think Isaiah Foskey is at big-time risk for Fadil Diggs and Jasheem Davis because both of those guys have been very, very impressive. Blake Grupe, in my opinion, is the MVP of the day. Very, very good. 3 for 3 on field goals, 3 for 3 on attempts. Did not attempt an extra point. That was Charlie Smith. He nailed it. really good. 56-yarder was good. 49-yarder was good. He has been very impressive. Blake Grupe, in my opinion, has won the kicker battle. Charlie Smith, I love him, but I think he's going to be a practice squad guy once again. Just been more consistent with Grupe, and the guy is pretty much automatic from 50-plus. So ultimately, the preseason is over. You finished the record with you finished with a record of 0-2-1, and now the regular season is here. So roster cuts, QB decision, a lot still has to happen before we get to week 1 versus the Cardinals at the Dome. I want you to predict the score for me down below. What do you guys think? Will the Saints win 5 games? Will they win 10 games? Will they win 6? Will they win 1? I want you to sound off in the comment section, share your thoughts. I'm going to say the Saints win 5 games. I think that that's a healthy number to try to assume. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's video. My name is Trace Girouard. We were live for 5+ hours on Saints Now by Chat Sports for our live watch party, pregame show, tailgate. It was an absolute blast. Thank you to everyone who supported the show. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, donated, and made our watch party absolutely legendary. A record-setting month in August in terms of watch parties, and you guys are the ones to thank. So y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.